Reality Bites.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Drop that.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Think of how many weeks shows you slept through. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you.
Tuned into Reality Bites. We welcome everyone from around the world to around the corner. My name is Danilo Ignacio, and of course, we always thank you kindly for joining us here every Sunday live to talk about issues that concern us as Black people in America. We'll have my brother on here co-hosting, talking about PTSD. It is much more than just something that happens to you in the military. Because of the suppression that we're under in America, we're coming to find out every day that more people are diagnosed with PTSD. So we'll have Link Green with Link the People, having a conversation and bringing awareness to an illness that has plagued America through supremacy. But right now, we are going to talk to a young lady live. She's on hold with Hugh Green currently right now as we speak. Her son's name is Demetrius Vanderfield, and he has a blood disorder called sickle beta thalassemia. And he was arrested just recently in November. Now, before we get into the conversation with Miss Tia Kaylin Summers, Demetrius's mother, I just want people to remember the creed of America's judicial system is you are innocent until proven guilty. In part, what that means is if you are arrested on a crime, you are not treated in any other kind of way in difference to what the system is until a verdict has been given out. With Demetrius, no verdict has been given out. His mother was promised that her son's illness would be taken care of. And of course, it wasn't. So now it's time for us to push back. As a mother, she's shaken, nervous, and bewildered on why the system that we pay into. As long as you have a job in America, you're paying taxes. And those taxes help to fix the street, to pay the people in the judicial system, police included, and yet still in this country we get no justice. We're live on the phone right now with Hugh Green and Tia Kaylin Sumner, and I'll let her explain what is going on as we speak loudly on social to aware people of the things that go on within America. Mr. Hugh Green, are you there?
Thank you for tuning in for this session right here. Hugh Green. Right now, I got on the phone with me is Miss Summers. Miss Summers, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
All right, good is good, man. Good is good. Yeah. I want to thank you for sharing your story today with us. You know what's going on with your son being locked up in the system and go through a situation. So please tell us a little bit about what's going on with Demetrius and how did he get incarcerated and what's going on with his case.
Well, my son Demetrius Vanderfield was actually picked up for human trafficking of a minor. I do believe that he's being railroaded. I can't talk too much about his case, but the main purpose of this interview was to basically talk about his health care that he's not receiving at Milan Correctional Facility.
Right.
Demetrius has a rare blood disorder called sickle beta thalassemia. He has actually been locked up since November. He had a blood transfusion in December, the 24th of December, 2016. He is supposed to be receiving blood transfusions every 3 weeks.
Right.
And they have basically refused to give him health care.
Right.
I actually filed a motion, and we went in front of Judge Judith Levy on March 7th, 2017, asking for him to receive health care. On that day, she told us that she would decide whether or not I could take him home to receive treatment.
Right.
Then she told me that she would decide in 24 hours.
Okay.
Well, 24 hours passed, 48 hours passed.
Right.
then was able to look at Demetrius's case and tell me that she had actually denied that motion. Since then, a whole nother month went by, and he actually received 1 unit of blood, but that's not nearly enough to keep him from being in severe pain.
Right.
He's been in pain for 3 months now.
Right.
And he's also not receiving his medicine to remove the iron from his liver, which is called JMU.
Right.
They've refused to give that to him.
Wow.
So just recently, we filed another motion to go back in front of the judge. And at that hearing, she also told me that she was not going to release him on a bond.
Wow.
And the U.S. Marshals told me that they're also only going to give him blood transfusions when his count is low, even though his doctor wrote a letter saying that he needed a blood transfusion every 3 weeks and his JMU to remove the iron from his liver.
Right. So
they are basically taking matters into their own hands and deciding whether or not he lives, basically.
Wow. And wow, that's sad, man. But and is it, he doesn't have a bond? He's being held as a conviction. He has a bond or anything?
No, he's been denied bond twice, and he's just being held. He has not been convicted of a crime. He's just charged.
Wow. And in the case of the matter of the medical condition, is he the only one that has that medical condition that they're treating like that as well?
Yes, I do believe so. I haven't been able to find any other cases of sickle cell anemia within the prison. And then also, I actually checked on their website, and they have procedures for every other illness in the world besides sickle cell anemia. So that definitely needs to be changed. And, I just can't understand the legality of it. There should be an issue with, not following a doctor's orders when you're playing with someone's life.
Right.
And he's just a 20-year-old kid.
Right. Wow, man. Sorry to hear that, and hopefully, the tables will turn, and Demetrius can get, out, and get his health back in order. Be praying for that. Well.
Yes, I definitely am, and I intend to fight for him until there's not a breath left in my body. So he definitely is a human being, and he deserves health care.
Yes.
If nothing else. And I also don't feel like he should be there. Everyone else gets out on bond. I don't understand why he can't.
Right.
But basically, I feel like they want him to do certain things, and they're denying him health care to make him suffer so that he'll do what they want. That's what I believe.
Wow. Once again, this is Mrs. Summers on the line. We'll have more details on what's going on. Thank you, Ms. Summers, once again, because we have a time frame on here. Just hold on the line real quick. We're going to take a break real quick, and then Mr. Danilo and Ignacio will come back on more information about what's going on with Demetrius' case.
All right, and thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Hold on one moment.
Thank you, Mrs. Tia Kaylin Sumner. We will stay up to date with you and the progress. Brother Demetrius Manderfield, hold tight. The world is watching. And however we will be able to aid you, we will. You are just not another black man in jail. You've got family. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. This is Reality Bites Radio.
Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Twitter's at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected. Yo, this your boy Lifo. Keep tuned in. We got more to come after this commercial break.
Welcome to the dawn. You've just accessed the Now experience.
Let's stop talking rhetoric and begin to start talking truth. Reality Bites.
When you're injured in a car crash, your life can instantly change. You didn't choose to be hurt, but you can choose your attorney. And you can choose attorneys who actually care about you, the injured victim. That's Bell and Pollock at championsofthepeople.com or call us at 303-795-5900.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Representing Brooklyn, you are now tuned into the hottest internet radio station online, Your Spearman Music Radio. Keep tuned, mobileonlineradio.net.
Welcome to LPMR Reality Bites Radio, a digital entertainment broadcasting company which services your local community with global viewership. We have a broad reach across a wide range of demographics within our social media platform, located at mobileonlineradio.net. The information highway has gone way past just being social. It is now the biggest shift since the Industrial Revolution, with hundreds of thousands of listeners waiting to tune in to your content. We know that LPMR Radio will be that valuable resource in delivering your information to the world. Start a dialogue today for the New York City tri-state area local distribution. Contact 646-580-6603. That's 646-580-6603. Reality Bites Radio. Reality Bites.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
Woo! Let's get it. My boy Link Green is coming up next with Link the People. The topic at hand, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Take these shackles off my feet. Skin crawling as I'm running through the street. Bloodsuckers, they want my melanin, my dreams. Death do its part, nigga, you'll never be free.
Peace. My name is Link Green, and this is Reality Bites Radio. And you can join us here every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get the news that is relevant to you. Now, if you're interested in that song you just heard in the introduction, that song is called Immortality Fiends. That is Immortality Fiends, and you can find it on SoundCloud. If you type in the words Immortality Fiends, it is by myself, Link, L-I-N-K, and also Colossal, C-O-L-O-S-S-A-L, Link Colossal. And that goes out to the slave trade that we see happening now, the organ harvesting that comes as a composite of that slave trade, and the fact that our people are still being stolen and brutalized by white people as a result of their fiendishness to be immortal, which they will never be, and their need and desire for our melanin, which we produce naturally, and they pay $353 a gram for.
Reality Bites. Get ready for no holds barred conversation on reality and how it bites. This show is not for the faint of heart. Let's get rid of the rhetoric and non-truths and start talking for real with topics such as, are you black or are you African American? Police brutality, their fault or ours? Is money really the root to all evil?
LPMR Talk Radio. Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Tweet us at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile. 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected.
Reality Bites. Reality Bites. Reality Bites. Well, we'll be back right after this commercial break with Link Green. Link the people. He is locked and loaded and ready to shoot. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the dawn. You've just accessed the Now Experience.
Let's stop talking rhetoric and begin to start talking truth. Reality Bites.
When you're injured in a car crash, your life can instantly change. You didn't choose to be hurt, but you can choose your attorney. And you can choose attorneys who actually care about you, the injured victim. That's Bell and Pollock at championsofthepeople.com or call us at 303-795-5900.
Have you ever heard of True Laundry Detergent? Well, here's your opportunity. True Laundry Detergent is offering a free shipping in selected areas just by texting the word TRUE to 404-493-0523 or give them a call. True Laundry Detergent is 4 times concentrated and perfect for high-efficiency washers. Just 1 ounce removes dirt and brightens fabrics, leaving each load with a clean, fresh scent. Best of all, True Laundry Detergent contains no animal products and no harsh chemicals, making it safe for sensitive skin. Follow True Laundry Detergent today. Search on social media platforms True Laundry Detergent or text the word TRUE to 404-493-0523. And when calling, be sure to ask about their free delivery. True Laundry Detergent. Welcome to LPMR Reality Bites Radio, a digital entertainment broadcasting company which services your local community with global viewership. We have a broad reach across a wide range of demographics within our social media platform, located at mobileonlineradio.net. The information highway has gone way past just being social. It is now the biggest shift since the Industrial Revolution, with hundreds of thousands of listeners waiting to tune in to your content. We know that LPMR Radio will be that valuable resource in delivering your information to the world. Start a dialogue today for the Atlanta, Georgia local distribution area. Contact 678-390-0307. That's 678-390-0307. Reality Bites Radio.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a beat poet. Name your price. A tool, an idea, an inspiration to do more than just say what you want to pay. Oh no, but to see the options that could fit your budget. Steve, enough bongos.
Find car insurance that fits your budget at Progressive.com.
Makes me want to dance. Steve!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Do you have music or a company that you want to share with the world? Well, you just clicked in the right place. Lost Pyramids Music Radio, the spot for indie entrepreneurs. For more info and getting your music or company promoted with our digital online network, contact us at 863-582-5483. And keep tuned in with us on mobileonlineradio.net. Every artist has no limits. The show.
Stay connected.
Welcome to the dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
Welcome to the dawn. You've just accessed the Now Experience.
Let's stop talking rhetoric and begin to start talking truth. Reality Bites. Power will not concede without a demand. Coming up next right here on Reality Bites is Link Green with Link the People. PTSD. It's something that affects us America-wide. All through America, every person that holds and utilizes the complexion of a black person, listen clearly, listen up. We must fix our problems in order to move forward in this country for the future of who we will be in America. Let's stop talking rhetoric. Let's begin to start talking the truth. Lynn Green, ready to go. You're live.
And today I'm bringing something to you, the black community, that is rarely talked about within the black community, and that is behavioral health or mental health, as some call it. I want to address a few things, particularly this negative stigma that we have as black males when it comes to talking about our problems and how we feel. I also want to cover the fact that black males in America and arguably around the world have the highest rates of PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder, in comparison to any other race. And when I say black males, I mean black males from the Caribbean islands, that's Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Cuba, all included, whether you think you're black or not. Blacks from South America and blacks from the continent of Africa. There are also blacks in Europe who inhabit ghettos and face the same economic disparities and are being disenfranchised too, just like us, only in different manners. So we're talking about them too. And when I say that we have the highest rates of PTSD in comparison to that of any other race, there are university conducted studies that confirm this. And we're going to get into those a little later on in the segment, but just know that I'm not pulling this out the side of my neck. These are facts that I'm stating, and I can back them up. So with all that being said, with us being taken to different places during the transatlantic slave trade, we're facing the same effects of chattel slavery no matter where in the world the transatlantic slave trade took our ancestors. And with those conditions comes the same effects of the brutal, savage, and disgusting abuse that our ancestors took. So not only was this information transferred to us genetically, but it was also transferred to us behaviorally and emotionally through our upbringing, through the things that we were told by our parents, by our grandparents, by our aunts and uncles, by our siblings and our cousins. It was all information that we passed on to each other, be it positive or negative. We shared it, and we shared it with our children. So Dr. Joy DeGroy of Portland State University calls this phenomena that we see happening amongst us as a community post-traumatic slave syndrome. Right? So post-traumatic slave syndrome, she wrote a book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome that you can find on her website. And that website is joydegroy.com or JOYDEGRUY.com. And she speaks more about this issue and others in her Be the Healing conference that she has every year. And you can find out more about it on her site. But she has tackled a lot of the issues that we have mentally in our community, and she's done tons and tons of research on it, and she's even held conferences where she's invited white people to come and listen to her tell them, hey, instead of you guys trying to point the finger at us, figure out what's going on with yourself, because this is what we're dealing with, and we know what we're dealing with, and we're addressing that.
That's right. Grand Rising Black people, it's time to become aware and conscious, and let us move forward, not only for ourselves, but for our children in America, and for our white, brown, and other counterparts within America. Please understand, we're not excluding you, but it's time for us to get involved with us, with the we in us, so we can make America better for all. Stay tuned, we got a lot more right here with Link the People, with my boy, your homie, Link Green. Stay tuned.
When you're injured in a car crash, your life can instantly change. You didn't choose to be hurt, but you can choose your attorney. And you can choose attorneys who actually care about you, the injured victim. That's Bell and Pollock at championsofthepeople.com or call us at 303-795-5900.
Have you ever heard of True Laundry Detergent? Well, here's your opportunity. True Laundry Detergent is offering a free shipping in selected areas just by texting the word TRUE to 404-493-0523 or give them a call. True Laundry Detergent is 4 times concentrated and perfect for high-efficiency washers. Just 1 ounce removes dirt and brightens fabrics, leaving each load with a clean, fresh scent. Best of all, True Laundry Detergent contains no animal products and no harsh chemicals, making it safe for sensitive skin. Follow True Laundry Detergent today. Search on social media platforms True Laundry Detergent or text the word TRUE to 404-493-0523. And when calling, be sure to ask about their free delivery. True Laundry Detergent.
At Arizona State University, we believe in giving you everything you need to learn to thrive. So it's good to know the experts and college reviewers agree. U.S. News & World Report names ASU the second most innovative school in the country. The Wall Street Journal says ASU is 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. The esteemed Princeton Review ranks ASU in the top 15% of America's four-year colleges as a leader in undergrad education. This is a university that empowers you to truly thrive. Arizona State University Online gives you the exact same curriculum, identical degree, and access to the same prestigious faculty as on-campus students. You can choose from over 100 degree programs, all enhanced by our innovative online learning technologies. For more information, call 1-800-600-8735. U.S. News & World Report ranked us in the top 10 for earning an online degree. All these high marks should give you confidence in your big plans. Learn to thrive with ASU Online. Call 1-800-600-8735. That's 1-800-600-8735.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a beat poet. Name your price. A tool, an idea, an inspiration to do more than just say what you want to pay. Oh no, but to see the options that could fit your budget. Steve, enough bongos.
Find car insurance that fits your budget at Progressive.com.
Makes me want to dance. Steve!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Reality Bites Radio. The question is, what is PTSD? A disorder characterized by failure to recover after experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event. Then that's every black person in America. The terrifying event of white supremacy that rules the American landscape. We are currently back in session with Link Green as he links the people to the information that they need.
Right? So when we talk about post-traumatic slave syndrome, one extreme sign of the trauma that we see in our neighborhoods can be witnessed in that of that brother who everyone sees as the, quote, real nigga or the hardest nigga on the block. So in movies, he would be the Tommy, played by DMX, on Belly, right? Or Old Dog from Menace to Society, played by Lorenz Tate. These brothers were seen as being about that life, as they say, and it was nothing for them to black out on somebody, and it could be over the smallest, most unimportant thing, but they were willing to kill viciously as a primal part of their characters. The one thing that these movies never did, though, is delve into the past of these black men, right? Because that would actually provide an explicit narrative as to why they were the way that they were. And that's what we're going to talk about, because in reality, when you look at our past and the past of the real Old Dogs and Tommies in our communities, the reasons that these brothers are behaving so violently is because he's a hurt little boy. As corny as that sounds, he's a hurt little boy. It's because somebody hurt his self-esteem when he was little. As a matter of fact, Dr. Joy DeGroy calls this, who's a sister, by the way, she is a sister, calls the way that these men feel about themselves vacant self-esteem. And this is an instance when there's been an insufficient development of a primary or normal self-esteem, a positive self-esteem, right? And instead, there develops this feeling of hopelessness, depression, and a general self-destructive outlook on life. And vacant self-esteem does not just apply to men, because in order to destroy our men, our brutalizers had to desecrate our women. But for the sake of this segment and time, we're going to focus on our men for now. But we know and understand that our women were affected, perhaps, arguably, in more hostile and disgusting ways than our men. But, that's not up for debate. It doesn't matter. But just know that as a people, we were attacked in different ways to offset our balance. My name is Link Green, and this is Reality Bites Radio. You can join us here every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get the news that is relevant to you. So moving on, basically, Dr. Joy DeGroy covers the fact that these feelings of hopelessness and this self-destructive outlook is marked by a propensity for anger and violence. So when we talk about that brother who's hard, right? We start to have these extreme suspicions of the ones around us and start to feel like everybody's out to get us. Like they're hating on us. And since we're mostly surrounded by other people who look like we do, we begin to associate those in our group as the enemy. So that's why you see that brother willing to fight another brother over whatever. It doesn't matter, whether it be a color, whether it be a woman, whether it be some money, whether it be the way that he looked at him or stepped on his shoes. So of course this all eventually leads to violence against ourselves, which is drinking, doing drugs, causing fights, and, other life-threatening altercations. I don't know, shootouts with the police. Then there's violence against each other, destruction of property, and so on, man. It's just a self-destructive lifestyle. And, we just don't like anything when we're in that mindset. So racists who try and justify their savage execution of our children in the streets, right, our innocent and unarmed children, they use the fact that we show these symptoms and signs of constant subjugation and abuse by using terms like black on black crime to defer attention from the fact that they are the real criminals in what they do to us and other people around the world. So though there are so many reasons why that statement is full of shit, I want you to remain mindful of the fact that the true sign of an abuser is their attempt to make you believe that you deserve the abuse that they're giving you. And that's what they do every time you say, hey, stop killing me, stop shooting me, stop brutalizing me. And they say, well, you deserve it because look at what you do to yourself. I want you to also realize this, right? We haven't ever been released from any exploitative grasp. The ways in which we've been exploited have just developed, as I stated before, into more sophisticated means. Institutionalized racism continues to perpetuate racism, which causes what Dr. DeGroy calls MAP. So what MAP is composed of 3 letters. The M is for multi-generational trauma, which comes from slavery, together with continued oppression. So that drama that our great-great-great-great-great-grandparents experienced passed down to us, who are still currently being oppressed, who are still currently getting that same trauma, right? And then the A is for the absence of the opportunity to heal ourselves or access the benefits available today to other members of society, which leads to P, which is the post-traumatic slave syndrome. Again, you can read more about Dr. Joy DeGroy and get her books on joydegroy.com. She has a YouTube channel, and the name of her book is Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. She also has lectures that she does. You can watch her lectures. They range anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours or more. And Dr. DeGroy, I just want to say, she's not the only person saying this stuff either. She's not even the only black social science. She's not even the only black social scientist saying it. There are white social scientists saying it. A 2016 study done on 37 young black men, ages 18 to 24. They were in Baltimore, Maryland. It was done by Columbia University and the University of Michigan. They found that the likelihood that black male youths will have someone close to them murdered is 7.8 times that of their white counterparts. So that means they have a 7.8 time more chance of someone who they know being murdered than the white boy who probably goes to school with them, if they're set up in that type of dynamic. They said that this disparity places black males at disproportionate risks for experiencing traumatic loss of peers and becoming what they call homicide survivors. What they're saying is that so many people die in our neighborhoods due to the effects of what we're still dealing with from the ongoing trauma since slavery that hasn't changed and has only become more sophisticated and state of the art. That we're experiencing even more psychological trauma from the physical loss of our loved ones. On top of the trauma we've already experienced from being raised by people who were raised by people who were raised by people who were chattel slaves. I mean, that's deep, but it's really not. Basically, we already have trauma from the way that we're being raised, from the trauma that our grandparents passed on to our parents, and they're passing on to us.
Knowledge is power, and you need to stay informed. Join us next week once again with my boy Link Green, where we will continue to talk about PTSD. I guess we'll call it a syndrome. Now that we understand some of the difficulties of being raised black in America, here in 2017, we have to drop the rhetoric that our grandparents and our parents have given us and begin to open up our eyes and look at life in America for a black person for what it really is. Because that will be the only way that we can fix the problem. And we're at a very great time in America because of the confusion. What do they call him? The POTUS, the President of the United States of America, otherwise known as Donald Trump, sits in office and causes all kind of distractions. We must stay steadfast in believing in ourselves and moving forward to gain our freedom. This is Reality Bites.
Thank you for joining us here on LPM Reality Bites Talk Radio. Stay tuned in for more with Danilo Ignacio after this commercial break.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Smallbusinessfunds.com. Find the right loan for your business. Need a startup loan of $1,000 to $10,000? Are you an entrepreneur with 6 months in operation looking for capital to launch? Smallbusinessfunds.com. Or an existing business with more than 6 months in need of quick loan in order to apply growth to your business? Smallbusinessfunds.com. SBF also assist established businesses with less than 100 employees. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com. Visit us at smallbusinessfundz.com. Not too sure which loan's right for you? Call today and schedule a free consultation. There's no cost to apply. 678-791-2312. That's 678-791-2312. Smallbusinessfunds.com. Our courteous and experienced staff will guide you through each step of the loan process. So contact us today. SBF, smallbusinessfunds.com.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a beat poet. Name your price. A tool, an idea, an inspiration to do more than just say what you want to pay. Oh no, but to see the options that could fit your budget. Steve, enough bongos.
Find car insurance that fits your budget at Progressive.com.
Makes me want to dance. Steve!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
When you're injured in a car crash, your life can instantly change. You didn't choose to be hurt, but you can choose your attorney. And you can choose attorneys who actually care about you, the injured victim. That's Bell and Pollock at championsofthepeople.com or call us at 303-795-5900.
Reality Bites Radio. Once again, from around the world to around the corner, you are tuned into Reality Bites. And our next conversation is going to be about Colin Kaepernick. Some things that you guys don't know that we do, because it's not just about us giving out information. We want to see what the mind frame of our brothers and sisters in America are at within their own personal lives. Living under white supremacy, white privilege, a lot of black people still don't even understand or can begin to know what it is. So we put out a consensus online for our viewers that stay in tuned and in touch with us on an all the time basis. We ask people to send in their email information, and we put together a core group of people, and we asked them about Mr. Kaepernick and what's going on with his situation. You know, the thing about supremacy is that it's such a mass obstruction in America that it's difficult to get through or get over it. Sometimes that's why we see a lot of our entertainment stars are unable to speak freely about the things that go on that they know that go on. Because if you're black and you're conscious, you know what goes on in this country. Colin Kaepernick decided to make a stand. And since he's made his stand, other football players decided to stand with him, not as much as we really figure should. Many did, and I salute you for that. The problem is our black people born in this country. So we put out our consensus and we asked people, would they boycott if he is not able to find another team or is re-signed to the current team? Because we all know what it is. It's not that he's not the best. And, you know, you hear the nonsense that our black people talk. Oh, he didn't do well this season, blah, 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 blah. I can show you 10 white men that haven't done well and they were still signed to multi-million-dollar deals. The problem was that he spoke out. And with what white supremacy does, when you have 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 white men that are owners, such as we're looking at right now in America, they come to their own form of consensus, and then they do what they feel is necessary to slow down whatever the problem may be. And that's why this gentleman has not been signed yet. So, in our consensus, we found a gentleman named Colossus, and I really enjoyed what he said and the way he took both sides of the matter and brought it into conversation. If you would like to be a part of our social experiment, and when we want to reach out to a consensus of people here in America on situations that are currently happening within our lives, you can contact us at 646-580-6603 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com or tweet us realitybites121 and join the conversation.
And so to let you know a little bit about Colin Kaepernick, he is a 28-year-old mixed race football player who was raised by a white family, the Kaepernicks. His biological mother was a lady of the night, should we say. And his father, they don't know his whereabouts, his biological father's whereabouts. He did, I want to say, reconnect with his mother, his biological mother. However, he was raised by a somewhat well-to-do Caucasian family. And so there was a bit of outrage for the stance that he took, his choice not to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner. And there was some outrage, but there was also a lot of people cheering him on and taking his side. And mainly, let's talk about the response from the black community, because there were three. On one end, there were those who was really cheering for him, rooting him on, saying that they completely agree with his reasoning, which the reasoning he gave for not standing for the Star-Spangled Banner is that he basically refused to celebrate or to honor a country that oppresses black and brown people. So there were black people who really cheered him on for this. And on the other side of that, there were black and white people who thought that he was completely disrespectful for taking this stance and voiced their opinions on it. And then there were those who felt like he should have done more. Don't just not stand. That's not doing enough. That's just a small point to make. How about you not play for the NFL anymore, not play for a corporation that is ran predominantly by Caucasians, Europeans, and they're making a boatload of money in comparison to what you make from the GM up, from the coaches to the GMs up, to team owners and the association, who shall remain nameless. Who can you name that owns, off the top of your head, that shares ownership in the NFL? A significant piece of ownership. So there were people who felt like he didn't do enough. And on one side of that, it's understandable. However, on the other side, maybe we should be asking him to go further with that stand and use his platform to donate to black organizations, to donate to black causes. If you really want to do something about the injustices that are happening to black people across the nation and across the country, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Now, I can't speak for Colin Kaepernick and what he does with his finances. However, all sides had some valid points. There were also black people who thought that he was completely disrespectful to the veterans that fight for his freedom. And there were also veterans who felt like this is what they fight for. They fight for a person's ability to utilize his First Amendment right, his freedom of expression, or, however he chose to express himself. And so the question that we have to ask is, why aren't there more celebrities? Why aren't there hip hop artists, for instance, more hip hop artists who are speaking up against the injustices that are happening to us? They asked Young Thug about a year ago, I want to say, what do you think about how black people are treated in this country? And he said he didn't want to talk about that politics stuff. All he wanted to talk about was his money and his women and his clothes and his cars. That politics stuff, leave it to the politicians, I believe is what he said. And so the question becomes, why are there other athletes? Why are there celebrities? Why are there hip-hop artists who claim to be all about the hood and from the hood and have come up in the hood, who are not speaking up for the fact that the people that they have, the people in the communities that they've come from are experiencing such injustice? And so when we look at this, we have to look at the fact that those who are in control of the mainstream music industry, those who are in control of mainstream media, there are 6 corporations that own all of the media in this country. They're all white. So if you speak to something that is against what is most profitable for them, black unity would mean, complete black unity would mean we make moves on the same level, on the same note. When one person does it, we all do it. So if we say, hey, next Friday, we're not spending any money, and every black person across the nation, or let's say 90%, we could even say 70% of black people across the nation were so united that no one spent money in all of the 50 states and however many territories, this would dig in the pockets of these white corporations. So, of course, they're going to encourage the people that they pay for entertainment. And this is athletes and music entertainers and actors alike. Of course, they're going to pay them for their silence. And of course, they're going to crucify them when they speak up. The same thing that happened with Marshawn Lynch when he refused to talk to the media because of all of the injustices that he had seen going on with his people. They tried to crucify him. They fined him. I believe more than once they fined him. And even when he did speak, he was very short. He was telling them, hey, I'm just speaking to you guys so I don't get fined. And he still got fined. So why aren't there more people like Colin Kaepernick? And another phenomenon that I've seen, or something peculiar to me, is this Rodney Harrison guy. He is a he's an NBC analyst, and he used to play in the NFL. So he's a retired football player. And he basically said that Colin Kaepernick isn't black. Now, if Colin Kaepernick isn't black, then I'd like to know what he is. Because if you're mixed race and you're half black, you know the one drop rule. So, I mean, I'd like to know what he is if he isn't black. But to give, you know, more, a bigger picture of what Mr. Harrison said, less biased picture. NBC Sports quoted him, Mr. Harrison, Rodney Harrison, as saying, quote, obviously he has the right to stand up for what he believes, but he has to understand that there are consequences and might be backlash for what he said. You know, a lot of people are criticizing him. I think his heart is in the right place. I just think he was going about it in the wrong way. If he really wants to make a change, sitting his butt down during the anthem, that's not going to change. That's going to get people very upset, and he has to understand that. If you think sitting during the national anthem, a lot of people really served before his time now, trying to give him the freedom and the liberties that he has. And I tell you this, I'm a black man, and Colin Kaepernick, he's not black. He cannot understand what I face and what other young black men and black people face, or people of color face on every single day. Listen, let's just stop there. So basically he's saying that Colin Kaepernick cannot understand what black people face or what people of color face. So I've seen this guy, and Colin Kaepernick. I'm sure you guys have seen him in the news recently. This guy is pretty black. I mean, you know, he's not a dark, highly melanated brother, but he's black. His hair is kinky. You know, it may be a softer gray, but it's kinky. And to be honest, this Rodney Harrison is the same complexion as Colin Kaepernick. If not, he's maybe a tint or so off. However we measure complexion nowadays, they're basically the same color. So I don't understand. You know, he started off on a pretty good note. Obviously, he's trying to stand up for what he believes in, and I know his heart is in the right place. But to say this is divisive, family. This is divisive to say that someone who is not as dark and as melanated as you is not black. This is divisive when we speak about Africans in Latino countries who experience the same type, if not worse, brutality. But let's just say, for the sake of saying so, the same type of brutality that we experience in this country. And for us to say, well, they're not black because they don't speak English. Or they're not black because they have curly hair. Or they're not black because, you know, they're lighter shade, is ridiculous. And let's not forget that Malcolm X was the same complexion, if not lighter than Colin Kaepernick. So this, you know, this is solely my opinion. However, this statement was completely out of line and it was divisive. Yes, Colin Kaepernick was raised by two white parents. But if Colin Kaepernick was 17 years old, driving through the neighborhood, the upper class, high upper class neighborhood that his parents probably lived in, and he was stopped by the police, they wouldn't care if his parents were white. They wouldn't care if his adopted parents were white. They would see a black man. Again, it's the one drop rule. That still applies. So essentially what I'm going to go back to is the fact that we can't do this, you know, use this divisive rhetoric. And we also have to realize that there are repercussions for anybody speaking up, but especially us. So the next time you listen to your Young Thugs or your Gucci Manes or your Migos, whoever it is that you listen to, ask yourself, are they speaking up? And if they are not speaking up, understand that the people who pay their bills, it's just like what my brother was saying, it's just like living in your parents' house. If you live in my house, you will abide by my rules because I pay the bills. It's the same thing for these wealthy entertainers. You will either abide by the rules of the people who sign your check, who also happen to be the same color as the people or the same race as the people who our brutality is met at the hands of. You will either follow their rules or you will face the consequences. Now, an example of this is Colin Kaepernick is now under investigation for something that happened earlier this month where a young lady was where a young lady was reportedly at his hotel room. And now he's under investigation for, alleged sexual assault or what have you. So he and two other NFL players are being investigated by Miami police. And it just, the article that I read about it in USA Today just says that there's an incident involving a woman at a hotel. And now he's under investigation for, alleged sexual assault or what have you. So he and 2 other NFL players are being investigated by Miami police. And it just, the article that I read about it in USA Today just says that there's an incident involving a woman at a hotel earlier this month. No charges have been filed, but the investigation is for sexual assault, and it's being conducted by the Special Victims Unit for a, quote, suspicious incident. Again, there are no charges that have been filed, but this just goes to show you that this man was perfectly fine, during the beginning of the football season, and last season, no one was worried about him. No one had a problem. And understand that there are woman beaters in the NFL. There are rapists in the NFL. There are murderers in the NFL. Who have all gotten away with it. Roethlisberger, I can't say his name. Roethlisberger from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has a rape charge against him. All right. There was also an NFL player who hit somebody in a crosswalk. The person died and they walked. Okay, look it up. Google it. There was an NFL player a few years ago who hit and run. He hit someone in the crosswalk. He ran. He got caught. And he got a manslaughter charge, but he walked. They were trying to get him for manslaughter. And he walked. Okay, so we need to understand that people are getting penalized for speaking up against the brutality that happens in this country. While there are also people of a different color, or, also black people, as long as they're showing us in a negative light, that's fine. We won't penalize you for that. Who are getting away with the transgressions that they've committed. Also, Kaepernick has been constantly fined for aggressive language, is what they said. He said that, it was claimed that he called another player a nigger during a game. And he and the other player both denied it. Even the other player said, no, he didn't say that. And they still fined him for aggressive behavior. So they're targeting this guy, which goes back to show you that if you speak up, playing for or working for an industry that is ran and dominated by white people, if you speak up for what is happening to us in this country, if it wasn't true, no one would be worried about it. They would call you a kook and write you off. All right? No, that never happens. Let me show you the data that proves that it never happens. They're quick to go to data. And they've tried the data thing with us, and we poked holes in it. So now it's just a straight up, if you talk about it, we're after you. So now they're coming after this guy. And we see why other artists and other entertainers are not speaking up.
I fully concur with the brother. Black people in America, you've got to wake up. And the 2 greatest things that will help you out of this bind that we're in within this country is the unmitigated love for your people and becoming entrepreneurs, creating your own money, power, respect, in that order. Stay tuned for more Reality Bites. Immediately following me will be conversations with Andrew Williams Jr.
Welcome to the dawn. You've just accessed the now experience.
Let's stop talking rhetoric and begin to start talking truth. Reality Bites.
Stay connected. Tell us what's on your mind. Twitter's at RealityBite121 or email us realitybitesradio@gmail.com. Stay mobile 646-580-6603. Post and join the conversation on our FB page. Search LPMR.207 online radio. Stay connected.
Hey, you should be making a living with your music by now. No one is going to listen to your music if you have few to no plays, likes, or followers. Don't stay behind. Promote your music now. Visit the link below for more info.
Do you have music or a company that you want to share with the world? Well, you just clicked in the right place. Lost Pyramids Music Radio, the spot for indie entrepreneurs. For more info and getting your music or company promoted with our digital online network, contact us at 863-582-5483. And keep tuned in with us on mobileonlineradio.net. Every artist has no limits. The show.
Stay connected.
Welcome to the Dawn.
Shut it down on the ones and twos.
You are currently tuned in to Reality Bites Talk Radio.
When you're injured in a car crash, your life can instantly change. You didn't choose to be hurt, but you can choose your attorney. And you can choose attorneys who actually care about you, the injured victim. That's Bell and Pollock at championsofthepeople.com or call us at 303-795-5900.